I remember one of the first times I came to the office, I was like maybe 4 or 5. And this is when the company was over on Sunset. This was, I'm going to say, about 1959. And the company had moved around the corner it was a little strip shopping center at that time. There was the little lobby, a little secretarial, check-in place, Dad's office, and then the back room. And Tom Matkin was working as a drafter, and I think it was J.R. What was J.R.?
J.R. Weaver.
J.R. Weaver.
And it's primarily your dad and J.R. that were doing the survey work.
Yeah.
So this is now early 60s, and Jim Box, who was at the city at that time,
Came and worked at night.
came and moonlighted drafting over at that time was Edminster Engineering Company.
Then your dad started in the 60s, didn't he?
Yes, to me it feels like around 68 or so, because I recall going up to the office when I was 8 or 9.
Which office?
I think it was the Galleria.
Okay.
And that's when your dad and Henshaw
Worked up an arrangement because Henshaw had people
but no
and no
work.
work, and Dad had work
and
and
no
not
people.
enough people. And so that's how they got together.
Your father started,
65 with Mr. Henshaw.
and so he became a team member of the Edminster Henshaw team when the two merged together.
In around 70.
Yeah, they actually signed the papers in 68 because I'm going to say that it was right after that they moved to the Galleria. And back in those days that the engineers, talk about engineers knowing everybody today, it was really close-knit back in those days.
Well, you had all the engineering firms in Houston you could count on one hand. We were talking earlier about Edminster Henshaw merging together in 68, then your father passing in 70, and then Terry becoming a partner in the early 70s, and that's when it changed to Edminster Henshaw Russ and Associates. And then that's when Russ Henshaw Surveying started, and they built that building out on the north side.
Bears Road.
Your dad and your mom and you and Susie.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. My first job was when I was a junior in high school, turned 16, working on the summer field crews with my dad. And then my senior year, I went to, I'd go to school half a day, and then I'd come in and I'd make deliveries for the firm. Hillcroft, what was the Hillcroft office?
Savoy.
Yeah. I would come in at lunchtime and get the delivery package, the inter-office mail between the survey company to the engineering company on Savoy. And your grandfather, Mr. Russ Sr., I'd be standing around waiting for a couple of drawings to get packaged up to take to Savoy. And he would say, "Son, if you ain't got nothing to do, grab a broom and get out there and start sweeping the garage."
We talked about the office building there in Galleria, and that's when Robert and I'd play with the eraser machines and go check everybody's offices out.
We'd take the eraser,
Make a
pull it out
helicopter out
front
of
and
it.
make a helicopter out of it.
Tell the eraser broke and look.
If it's go flying off across the room. Yeah, we were just little kids.
We were crawling around everybody's offices and
We had the full run of the building.
oh hell yeah. After that, when Marvin Leggett and Terry were best friends, and he was probably one of the biggest.
He was the biggest client.
He was the wildcatter, and he built Savoy there at Hillcroft in 59. And I think I remember it right. Then he called up Terry and said, "You are going to move into my office building, aren't you?" And my father said, "Well, do I have a choice?" Then they have a stairway built into they were on the 11th floor and Marvin was on the 12th.
So there was a stairway at the back where he could come downstairs.
And he could check on his project.
Check on his projects. I remember he used to go check on my dad and see what my dad was doing.
Yep.
Yeah, the furniture was the old orange, crushed velvet type.
Yep.
Yeah. And lime green and ashtrays everywhere.
And black rim glasses and short sleeve shirts with ties. And then we had the dog kennels in there, and I remember your dad used
I used to lock you up in there,
lock
didn't
me
he?
in there, and he would hose me down.
Bring you down with a water hose.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, up in the dog kennels.
That's it.
Yeah, it was a unique place to grow up right there. I was always around the survey crews and just born into it, literally. It was on 10 acres out there, so it was plenty of upkeep, a lot of mowing, and taking care of the dog kennels and such.
Oh, yeah.
I guess they got rid of that in like 89 when they moved to Meadow Glen.
When they moved to the West office.
Yeah.
West office.
Yeah.
In the late 80s, and 87, 88, they moved to the West office.
Yeah.
Right.
There were some of the best picnics we had.
And that big warehouse.
Yeah, the big warehouse.
Oh, yeah. I can remember Mr. Russ, your dad, coming out there on the weekends and shooting skeet.
Yep.
He was a big bird hunter.
Yep. That's why I had those dog kennels with some hunting dogs that I don't know that you really ever got used a whole bunch, but you and I would have to clean them out.
Every Sunday.
There was a big joke when they moved over to Savoy because all the executive offices were at one end of the building or the floor, and then all the workspace was at the other end. But they decided to have an executive washroom, and that was extension 40. And when anyone picked up extension 40, Julia, would kind of light up, and then Henshaw would play pranks by, going into the executive washroom, dialing the front desk from extension 40 and flushing the toilet.
That was the toilet. The toilet was here, and then the phone,
And the phone was right there.
Gotta always love West Office Drive, though.
It was like a third world country.
Well, it was.
It was. It really was.
But being in that shape it was, trying to find the bathroom was tough.
Couldn't expand them. That was the reason why we had to leave.
It wasn't the only reason we had to leave.
I remember David Wilgus clogging up the damn toilets.
Oh,
we
my
had the
gosh.
biggest meeting we ever had in our lifetimes with the mall developer guys, Simon Property Group.
Yep.
Had a whole office full.
Yep.
It was spilling out, and all of a sudden the toilets were overflowing. Oh.
So we had that sign, a map of Brazoria County, there along that little hallway on the other side of the backside of the restrooms. And we put that sign up there.
Over the hole.
I looked there, and that's because that whole side of the wall
Was missing.
had been knocked out so that
fix
we
the
could
plumbing.
work on the plumbing.
Yep.
And we decided, let's don't replace that because we're going to work on it again. We'll just put this sign against the wall.
It's like Randy's rain diverters up in the ceiling with plastic sheets, binder clip to the red iron, and a garden hose down to a garbage can on the floor. Capture all the leaks.
The guy in the office beside me noticed one day that there was a crack or something in the foundation, and there were ants in there that had gone and dug a hole in the carpet, and they're pulling the little rocks out like they're making an ant bed. Yes, they were. And so I wanted to keep them there and see how long we could keep this thing going. So I got a thing of insecticide and put it around it so the ants couldn't get away. Because I wanted to see how long they can keep that up. And
How long do they keep it up?
They didn't keep it up more than about 3 weeks. And they gave up. The ground was too hard, I guess.
Remember the cubicles had the carpet on the side, the brown carpet on the side of them? It was quasi-shag.
Yeah.
Remember our first new phone system we got in there? And it just pained Terry to know that everyone was going to have a phone at their desk because he was used to having that bullpen phone on the one wall.
Yeah, yeah.
And all they're going to do is talk on the phone all day.
Like, Dad, it's okay. They can have a phone at their desk. What? I don't think so. Yeah, it's okay. The world's not going to end. We're going to be fine. They're just going to sit there and talk on it all day long.
It was just the one phone in the bullpen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Charlie Kennedy, you have a call on line 1, please.
And back then they didn't have cubicles. They were like a bunch of 6-foot tables.
That's it.
So if you were on the phone, you were out there in front of
Talking in front of
everybody.
everybody. That's
You
it.
were on stage.
You didn't have a private moment. You couldn't. It had that long cord, and if you had to go get into a private conversation, you could go walk into one of the closets. And then we moved into Meadow Glen. That was a great move.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah,
yes.
Meadow Glen was great.
This is the perfect timing, too, with the technology upgrades. Just 6 months earlier, we'd have been in a lot of trouble.
Oh, can you imagine having to work remote with the old system?
It was a good move. I remember we moved in there and didn't think we would occupy that entire building for 3 years, and we filled it up, blessed to fill
Right
it
away.
up, and now we're blessed to be looking for more space. So when your dad retired, Charlie, how many years of service did he have?
He retired in 08, 43.
43 years of
43
service.
years, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's hard to believe. Been retired, 17 years?
Well, wasn't your dad like 52 some years, something like that?
Yeah, he started,
When he was 19.
yeah. So he was 74 years old when he retired. So 50-something years. That was quite a run. So
Yep.
I remember Jim Thompson had left, who was running the construction side of the firm, because I was looking to make a change at that time.
Yep.
And Terry found out about it, and that's when he convinced me to take the deal, and that's what started the conversation. I started in August of 98, and we started immediately.
Terry called me on March 2nd, 1999. And remember, Texas Independence Day was March 2nd. I was living in Chicago at the time. And he said, you know, it's kind of like, do I have a deal for you type thing. Between, I guess, March and maybe June, we had it all put together.
You came in several times, and you and I talked a bunch on the phone, and
Oh, yeah.
June or July had it all set up, and then you made the move down, and
In August, right. And started the day after Labor Day
yeah.
in 99.
Terry got us together in 98 and said, man, we got to put the family back in the family business. There was no more family after you and I.
That's right.
And that was really his only exit strategy.
Pretty much.
And that's when we got together, and the rest was history. But we started working on our exit strategy with him starting in 04 or 05, 06, 07.
Yeah.
It was a 3-year transition.
Yeah, because everything was done in 08, wasn't it? And so we were, the owners of the company at that time, just you and me,
But then you and I immediately went to work in 08.
to set up the 401k.
No, the ESOP.
ESOP. That's right. It was the ESOP. Oh, my God.
Every night we would talk for hours. A, rebuild the company. B, strategize on work and do whatever. And then C was the transition. What did we want it to do? And I remember when I would tell folks back then after we came up with an idea, and they're like, man, you're only in your 40s. Like, yeah, but this plan that we want to pull off is going to take 20
Years to
plus
do,
years.
yeah.
And we weren't far off the mark because we set up that plan. We worked with Payton and Naomi in Valley,
Right.
and then the ownership structure, working through the ESOP stuff.
It's been working.
God almighty, knock on wood. It's been a true dream come true. It's far exceeded our highest expectations, as we've said before, and that's God's honest truth.
I remember when I was collecting all that stock, I was receiving it. Those were some of the happiest times of all. And then when I started selling it,
It's even happier.
even happier. Yeah.
I was just totally amazed at you and Truman's generosity. Never dreamed something like that.
We didn't do it for that. It was everybody has worked hard and has earned
It
it.
was based on everybody's contribution and what they
Exactly.
did.
But we would have worked that hard anyway. If you hadn't given us the company, we still would have worked that hard.
Yeah, we know, but still, it was a reward for all that hard work that was done for so many years.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We knew what a gift we had with that family firm. We knew that we needed to keep it going.
Right.
And that this was the only way to keep it going was to transition it into the ownership of the new family of who make it what it is today.
What was it we used to say? We want to make sure that we always had family in the family
In the
business.
family business. 90 years is coming in a year, guys.
Seems like only yesterday it was 75.
I know.
Remember we had the big 75th party?
Yeah.
It was when we unveiled the new logo
Yeah.
outside of the Genie logo thing that you and I.
Remember, we were trying to get such consensus from
my
all
God.
the senior people,
You can't do that.
and no one would say diddly.
And then they would all stream into my office afterwards and go, I don't know why Bob was talking about this. Here, we need to do this. And well, why didn't you speak up in the meeting? Well, I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. And so that's when Truman and I finally said, forget about it, man. We just worked with the with the company ourselves. And
Yep.
we were so tired and wore out by it. It's like,
We
man,
were. We
oh
were.
my God. All right, whatever looks good. Yep, that looks good. And everybody said, well, what is it? We go, well, it's an E, it's an H, it's an R. Can't you see it? Oh, okay. Well, it looks like a genie or a bridge.
Yeah, it looks like a little genie about ready to come
A
out.
genie lamp.
Yeah, a little genie lamp.
We used that for what, 10 years maybe?
Yeah.
And then Bob Ring, or Brandon Ring. It was really Brandon.
Brandon, yeah, that worked on the rocker.
That
logo.
worked on the rocker with just the EHRA.
Yeah.
So hard to think going back to the name Edminster Henshaw Russ.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a running joke inside of the law offices of Edminster Henshaw Russ and Associates. You'd always try to tell someone where you work, and then you'd have to follow it up with, it's an engineering firm. You know? So it was really cool when we went to the EHRA, and I guess that was the 75th anniversary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in 11. And Brandon Ring had worked on that logo. Ed was kind of ramrodding it with him as well. I got to give Ed credit on being a part of that effort. And I remember showing it to the leadership back then, Truman, Terry, Peggy, Valley. I rolled out that logo and it's like, man, everybody was like, they were real standoffish about it. We kind of slow dripped it and said, this is what it's going to be. Just grow to like it.
Huge transition. I mean, it was a
I
big
know.
change. We were worried about not being recognized, right?
One of the things that I've tried to coerce Truman into doing for the longest time, and he just wouldn't do it, and that is to just go back to Edminster Engineering. It was easy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and it was very recognizable.
Yeah, but people still can't say Edminster anymore. I mean, it's
Administer.
Edminster.
It does take us through, to the transition. It's transitioning out of the family, long-term family company to the team, which, at the time I didn't realize, where it would take us, but it's not EHRA. Granted, we know where those letters came from, and that's how we got here, but moving forward, there's no one leader.
The addition of word engineering, I think that helped a lot.
Yep. Oh yes, EHRA Engineering.
That was very necessary. It completes the picture.
Talking about the transition, and it was just a deal of going through the process and whatnot, and getting y'all involved in the next. When did y'all become shareholders?
16 or 17, I can't. Yeah.
What they said.
Yeah.
These three, they became
Because
all at
y'all
1 year.
became partner shareholders when?
11-ish maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because 12, I remember, 12 was, or 11, and the second half of 11 was jailbreak. Economy coming back.
12 was
And
Hair
12
on
was
fire.
a full-blown,
Yeah.
that was the test of not hiding warm bodies.
That's the time where we said fit was going to be an important piece to our criteria for
culture.
bringing
has
someone
worked.
in. Yeah, culture.
It's worked.
I mean, I'll be honest, it was kind of chaotic when early years. I mean, we were 50 people big, I think, whenever I started. It was interesting. It was definitely a grouping of personalities that either they worked or they didn't work. That was it.
That time was a hard time, but it really made, I think, especially Jim and Truman's vision of, well, how we not going to have this happen again? This and what can we do to be more diverse? And y'all went at it, I think, especially from the public side, really getting out there and getting involved with the counties that were the next counties. I think that's paid dividends. And then, TRIP system, I think, came from those things, and, the track research information and planning. And just all those things came together where I think we, going for different types of projects, bringing more services in, and we've definitely got more diverse.
There's two periods that you could really kind of point to as our growing up experience, right? It was coming out of the downturn, which was terrible to see friends leave the firm and basically be responsible as one of the people there to try to get all the work that we had on the docket done. I mean, that was a scary time. I think Meridiana was coming on board, so we really had to perform on that project. So, and I was doing H&H on that. That wasn't really the easiest project, just to be working through all that. But coming out of that, we really saw a lot of growth, I think, in how we did business, how we grew from the mistakes or what we learned over that period of time. And then the transition from West Office to Meadow Glen was just a huge, we're here to stay type of moment. And it was very exciting because I know what it took in the room to make that decision. It was not an easy one. And it really defined who we've become from that stage on. It's been fun to watch the growth.
The culture is a big part of it, and one of the things that we've got to make sure that we do is the next 90 years maintaining that culture. And how do you do that? And one of the things you just got to make sure that the leaders that you bring into that position, they've got to have the culture, they've got to have the mindset that we have the vision for, and making sure that we don't lose track of that and they don't lose track of that. It's all about the people that you put in the right place.
And although we've grown, obviously, we still have that mindset that I think Andy mentioned and you just mentioned of not hiring to hire. We hire, the right person, and sometimes it may take 2 years to get the right person. Sometimes it takes a few days, you don't know. And we've made some hires like that over the last 5 to 10 years, and so and it's paid off.
What are the odds you go over to this new building, you have all this space, you fill up 2 quads or 3 quads. We don't even take down the 4th quad when we go over there.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're filling it up in 1 year.
Knock on wood, but to this point, we have been able to keep up the same service we had when we were lean and mean, and maybe not as much work, but it was where we blessed to have some work, but we're still providing that service. And that's again having the right team members that we have, and we'll continue to hire.
It's been fun to watch, with the growing of the teams, how everyone's being introduced and the mentoring that's going on. And I mean, a long way from my little folding table in the hallway next to the coffee machine, but our team members are really grasping on to introducing or bringing people in, and it's really fun to watch them. They do a lot of stuff together. They do all the soccer, the intramurals, the volleyball, the bowling. I mean, it really is a family atmosphere.
That's right.
It really does give that feel. I hope to see that carry forward for many years to come, and that is going to be the trick. It's our people, it's our culture, it's who we are. And right now, I think anyone would do anything for everyone if they really needed it.
In my opinion, it's lead by example. It's what we do as a leadership is what our team members will follow. And, they will see that. And working as hard as we all have in building the culture that we've got, it's going to be harder and harder to maintain as time goes on and we continue to grow. But if we continue to lead by example and set that culture and make that our top priority, then we will all continue to be successful, no matter how big we get.
God, can you believe we're almost 300 people now? Whoa. 300 people. We opened 3 offices this year.
Yeah.
In 2020. 3 offices.
3 offices.
Yeah.
Looking back, I was like, there's no way it was 3 this year, but sure enough, Katie opened the first one in January, Dallas was in May, and then a second Katie office just recently in October. I mean, it's been a tremendous year of growth.
From my Truman and mine's perspective, y'all heard us say that this has worked out, far better than our highest expectations. What does it mean for you guys?
It's something special. It is to know that to where I am, to be a partner of a very successful engineering firm, and to do it with everyone here and all the other partners. It's great. It's a great feeling.
I mean, I had aspirations, obviously, to be the best I can be, but I didn't think I'd be an owner of EHRA, day one. But I loved the firm. It didn't matter. I was, that's why I interned so many times and came. But, the cool thing about it is, and I'm glad y'all, were able to make that decision, is that, this is not the last transition, this is hopefully forever that this works and this company continues to move forward and into the future, and give other people opportunities to lead. And as long as we continue to have that mindset and keep growing the team in that manner, I think this will be here in 100 years.
You just go to work, you work, and that's it. I mean, it's like, right?
I agree. I
So
understand.
that concept wasn't there. And I remember that day when everybody got gathered, all the EITs and engineers in conference room.
Never
one.
forget that day.
And then he passed out, that one piece of paper that, okay, here are the qualities that we will be looking for, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, you just say that, okay. Yeah. If it was planned the way it turned out, it was a very well planned. I mean, it was, I must say, it was very well planned. Couldn't even if you go back and want to write it the way it turned out, it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know how you timed it so perfect. I mean, the timing of getting it up and running to where we are today to make sure that we can succeed in moving forward. It's been a blessing, honestly.
It's been a nice ride, gentlemen.
It has. It's been good.
It's been an honor to share the field of battle with you.
Yeah. It's been great.
It's been a great run.
Yeah.
Where we are today is just incredible. Looking back to West Office Drive and
Gears
Amazing.
Road in Savoy and
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
There's not very many people that can reflect upon the history that we just have reflected on in the last 45 minutes. Not many at all. So here's the next 90 years, guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's do it.
Here.
Yep.